Okay, as we look at the call this morning, this is the New Year's call. Many have New Year's resolutions as they step into the new year. It's a great idea, good thing to have. It's amazing, right? Having New Year's resolutions, and I know that many of you guys are on here. You've heard me talk before. The statistics of the amount of people that release very quickly their New Year's resolutions. So coming back to you guys is tell you that those are great. It's okay to have New Year's resolutions. That's perfectly okay. But just remember, as you jump into a new vehicle, the first time you bought it, or a new tool, or anything that's new that you purchased, a piece of clothing, it is new for maybe the first time, and a time or two thereafter kind of has a little bit of the novelty effect, but then it's over. The novelty is gone. So novelty isn't the answer. However, novelty does bring with it something that's really interesting. It brings with it hope. But hope, too, unless we have action to go with it, as the scripture would say, it's dead. Faith without works is dead. And faith oftentimes comes in the form of hoping for something better. And we see an opportunity, and then we are hopeful, and then we start having a little bit of faith in the system, and then we hold back because there's certain things that I'm not sure that I really want to grow myself in that area. I just want what I want. I want the results, though, but I don't really care to grow myself in all areas. And then the hope wears off rather quickly. The new has already worn off. And then we find ourselves back into the same things that we've done before. We hop on a call, we get motivated, and then we choose not to be on that call for 2 weeks. I have news for you. Motivation has an expiration date. You know, when motivation expires, only discipline can step in and keep it going. Some of you guys have been very disciplined about hopping on these personal growth calls live and listening into it and adding value to yourself and adding value to the people around you as you're continuously growing. And how we do anything is how we do everything. So as you're growing yourself in this particular area, you find yourself growing in all areas. And so motivation, if we keep doing it on a daily basis, it keeps having its effect. But if we know that we're going to move away from allowing yourself to be motivated, we've already moved away from our discipline, because discipline is what it takes to stay on something long enough to allow ourselves to get so motivated that we just feel the inspiration on a daily basis. Motivation, a one-time motivation, has an expiration date. It wears off, it's done, and then we're back into the same thing again. And that is where only discipline can take you through. Many people would give anything if they knew that a system like this exists where they could hop on live, but they don't know it. And we haven't been overly careful to get it out to that many people, but some of y'all have been doing that, and it's inspiring many more people. We get enough testimonies from it. I also have a lot of friends that are listening into the recording, and it is inspiring and motivating them. But I'm going to tell you, on a daily basis, motivation is absolutely incredible. And it's kind of twofold. Why it's so incredible and why it's so amazing is because to allow yourself to be motivated on a daily basis, you are already exercising your right to be disciplined. Meaning, if you're on there on a daily basis, you are already holding yourself accountable. You're already disciplined in those areas, and you are allowing yourself to say that my future means enough to me that I'm willing to not be the same person tomorrow as I was today. Let's take a little look at what was just said here. You see, nothing will change until you and I change. My life, my financial, all those things won't change, certainly not for the better, unless I change. There's got to be something that I hold myself disciplined to this year that I did not hold myself disciplined to last year. There's got to be some things that I'm going to choose to make necessary changes that I didn't do. Yesterday, I had opportunity in a few different situations to do something that I'd never really done before in that particular way. And it was kind of tough because it was something I didn't want to do and really kind of worked on the ego, right? But I chose, and I'm not saying this to look at me at all. That's not the case, but it gave me an opportunity to step up my game. I intend to step up my game. I intend to step up my game this year dramatically. I do not intend to hold the same level of discipline this year as I did last year. I intend to be motivated on a daily basis. And I was thinking about this call this morning and preparing myself for it. I just felt this surge of motivation going through my system. I'm like, that's good. I want to keep that the rest of the year as I take notes and always prepare myself for the calls to some degree. Not always do I take notes, but in many cases I will. Whatever works for me is what I must do. What works for you is what you must do. Yours is going to be a little bit different, but what are some mindsets that you get to change? What are some things that you get to step into? Where are some areas that you can grow yourself? Maybe you haven't really invested in yourself financially. Maybe that would be a good idea if you did. You chose one of these amazing coaches and you take coaching for 6 to 9 or maybe even 12 months. And it starts holding you accountable to your new resolutions that you're making on a daily basis. And with that, you start seeing after 3 months, after 6 months, after 9 months, after 12 months, you start seeing a shift in the paradigm. And once there's a paradigm shift, you just don't go back to as far down as you used to be. It's just not possible because kind of like a balloon, once you've blown it up once, it never shrinks back to the size that it was at the beginning. You have moved beyond that. And so my challenge is that you do something this year that stretches you. I don't have the money for that. Well, maybe that's your number one reason to do it, is to be able to get that up. Well, it's going to cost me more. I've been doing this for 3 to 6 months and I haven't really gotten that much yet. Well, how many of your old habits have you been willing to release and look into doing things a little bit differently and moving toward those goals? Or have you been defending your old habits? Have you, as a coach, been defending the people around you versus helping them step up into that next level? See, all of this is very important. We must, to grow. I've got to be able to release things that didn't work last year and be able to adapt new habitual concepts that will start making the necessary changes. I must be aware that motivation has an expiration date. I must be aware that novelty doesn't last long, and although it brings with it hope, it ends there once the novelty wears off, and it always will wear off. There's no way around it. It can't not wear off. It must wear off. It just will. That's a part of it. And so the answer to that is discipline. Coming back into holding yourself accountable or having a system that helps hold you accountable. Now, is that the only answer? Of course not. To some businesses, there's a lot of different things that must fall into play, but this is the foundation of it. There's some certain areas and elements that we're going to get to make some necessary changes on. And then we find ourselves in this scenario where, yes, the first month it looks really good to do these things. By the second month, not so much. The third month, it's like, why am I even doing this? That's going to happen to you. It happens to all of us. That's where discipline comes in. But once you hit the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 12th month, you are really in the game. It's like, how did I ever make it without this? How did I ever get to this level? It feels so good to have less stress. It feels so good to have the abundance coming in. But to have a new year, new you doesn't start with wanting to be the best fit person in the gym. It starts with the person that says, I'll make a few small necessary changes and I'm going to stick with them this year. And I'll have somebody hold me accountable to do that. That is the person that I'm excited about. Not the person that says I'm going to have more money than everybody else in my county this year. I'm not excited about the person that says I'm going to be able to bench press more than everybody else this year. I'm not excited about the person that says I'm going to run more than everybody else this year. I'm not excited about the person that says I'm going to do more with my business this year than everybody else around me. I'm excited about the person that is committed and has the discipline to make a few small changes and stay connected and stay disciplined with those small changes, because those few small changes will result into massive changes at the end of 12 months. It'll result into some massive financial increases, differences in communication. Oftentimes we have the McDonald's instant gratification, chocolate cake type of mentality. We want to take something today, we want results tomorrow. We want to do something for 3 months, we want results. We want our life to be changed, and if it doesn't, it must be the people's fault that have been helping us. We get to release that as well and step into discipline as we move forward. With that being said, guys, I am excited to begin the journey of 2024 with you guys. You guys are amazing. Whether you're listening in to the recording and or listening in live, or listening in the 1st of February on YouTube, wherever it may be that you're listening into this recording. I'm looking forward to shaking your hand at one of our seminars, working with you, and I'm excited to hear about your aspirations, your dreams, and what you're going to be doing in the future to make 2024 the absolute best year that you've ever had. And that is yours to be had. You just must understand that it is possible and start taking the necessary actions. With that being said, guys, Benjamin, thank you so much for hosting the call. I would just encourage you guys to do me a favor. Don't settle for less than who you are, and choose to be committed and disciplined. And this year will pay off for you in a massive, massive way. Thank you all for joining us. God bless.